Good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome to you all. Isn't this exciting? We're all here and wearing really uncomfortable shoes. I don't know about you, but this is the first time I've worn these shoes for a long time, and I'm going to know about it at the end of the day. So, my name's Jackie Lynch. I am Chair of the Board of Trustees and a graduate of ION myself. So I do know what a big day this is for all of you. And really, I'm thrilled that you're all here today because it's a very special graduation because you've had to wait for it, and I'm sure you will find it really worth the wait. So I'd also like to make a special welcome to not just the graduates, but all your family and friends who are here to support you, because I'm fairly sure they'll have supported you throughout all the various ups and downs of your journey to become a nutritional therapist. And everybody, we're going to need one final gesture of support because there's going to be some serious clapping required once the ceremony gets underway. And again, I imagine we're all a bit out of practice with clapping in recent months. Even the clap for carers seems a very long time ago, doesn't it? So we'll be doing a little warm-up in a few minutes to get you into the rhythm of it. I'd like to take this opportunity as well to welcome our other guests, Catherine Jeans, who is our keynote speaker today, and our colleagues from the University of Portsmouth, Dr. Neil Weston and Professor Richard Thelwell. We really are delighted that you're joining us today. There's a special thank you going to Cella for sponsoring today's event. Please do take the time to visit their display table if you haven't already, because they've got some exciting goodies on display. And if you're wondering who Cella is, it's spelt Calla, and they're over there in the corner. So don't walk past them looking for Cella. We've also got a number of prizes to announce, sort of in retrospect, as it were, and we're very grateful to the ION Fellow, Janet Anders, ION Trustee, Diane Shepperson-Mills, BioCare, Zest for Life, and the Natural Dispensary for generously sponsoring all these prizes. And of course, last but not least, the final thank you goes to all the ION staff and trustees who aren't strictly guests, but they really deserve a special mention for all their hard work and commitment to the organisation, because I really don't know what we do without you all. Now, before we start, there are a couple of small housekeeping announcements. So firstly, I hope it doesn't happen, but if the fire alarm goes off, it's a continuous ring, and you need to exit as quickly and safely as possible, back down the stairs and out through the main entrance that you came in, gathering in the courtyard where there will be fire marshals available to direct you. You've all received your pre-event COVID instructions, so just a quick reminder really, masks are optional, and although the waiting staff will be wearing those, hand sanitizer, antibacterial wipes are dispersed around the building, and the NHS track and trace code is available at reception if you want to check into the event. And I should probably add that much as I'd like to, I won't be shaking your hands as I give out the certificates, because I do think I should avoid the risk of becoming a one-woman super spreader. That wouldn't be a good end to the proceedings. And finally, if you could ensure that your mobile phones are all on silent or switched off, that would be very much appreciated. All right, just checking my hat before we get going, because I don't want it falling off in the middle of all of this. So let's get down to the real business of the day, because ION has been training nutritional therapists for over 35 years, and graduation's always a really special day as we celebrate the hard work and success of our third-year students. And of course, this is a particularly special day because we weren't able to do this last year, and so I'm really thrilled to see so many of you here. And I know that several of you have travelled quite some distance to get here today, not just from around the UK, but from as far afield as Dubai and Singapore, which is really what I would call dedication. So I promise you we are going to loudly and proudly celebrate all of you today. So, to friends and family there, this is your chance to warm your hands up, get some practice in. Can we start by giving our lovely graduates a really big round of applause? That's an excellent start. I'd say you've been doing it every day, fully warmed up. So, moving on, first of all, to our students, or, well, our ex-students, I suppose I have to say now, don't I? The first thing I would really like to say is congratulations on your achievement, because it is a major achievement. It's not easy to make it through the NTDC. And that's not just because of the academic level of the course and the stress of clinic, not to mention the dreaded monthly assignments. It's because you're doing the course at the same time as a very busy life. And you will, each of you, have a very different story and will have faced a range of distracting challenges over the past few years, from starting or raising a young family, supporting elderly relatives, holding down a busy job, dealing with illness or loss, and all the other myriad rocks that life can throw in your path. And that was before COVID-19 crashed into our lives and turned them upside down. Just as you were looking towards the end of the course and looking ahead to an exciting future as a nutritional therapist, there will have been times when the monthly assignment felt like a mountain to climb, but you climbed it. You turned up month after month to weekend lectures, or you ploughed on independently as an e-learner, although of course you all became e-students during lockdown, and there were probably times when you felt alone and dispirited. You grappled with the challenges of analysing clinical trials and research papers. You dealt with difficult clinical cases, learned how to motivate challenging clients, and you somehow you managed to juggle all of that with all the other responsibilities in your life. So your achievement is hard won, and I hope that it's all the sweeter for that, especially after the wait for this formal celebration. And of course, because of that, you're no longer on the cusp of starting your new life. You've been out there at the sharp end for over a year. And what a year it's been. I bet the pandemic messed up your carefully prepared business plans, didn't it? And yet, what an opportunity and a privilege to be in a position where you can provide evidence-based advice and support at a time when public health is really in very sharp focus. You've qualified as nutritional therapists at a time when the public's appreciation of the link between food and health has never been greater. The impact of COVID-19 has generated a real appetite for a preventative approach to healthcare and to immune support. So managing the fallout from the post-viral fatigue generated by long COVID is a challenge for many people. And of course, the political context of potential new trade deals, which may have a very real impact on our food standards. All of these issues are encouraging people to think harder about how they can influence their own health and well-being. And so the professional opportunities for nutritional therapists continue to grow. We're facing a global health crisis, which is all about diet. Non-communicable disease such as cardiovascular disease, cancer, obesity, and type 2 diabetes are at an all-time high. They're now responsible for 72% of deaths across the world. And as you all know, diet can be a significant factor in each of these conditions. High in refined and processed foods and low in whole grains, fruit and vegetables, the Western diet has become a deadly gift to the rest of the world. Here in the UK, 1 in 4 adults are obese, and recent statistics show that we're comfortably top of the obesity league in Western Europe, which hugely increases our risk of chronic disease. And that's not a great result for Team GB. So you've probably already discovered that there's a lot of work for you to do. Not only does your country desperately need you, but you can also play a part in saving the world from chronic disease. You probably didn't see yourself as a nutrition superhero when you came to the Iron Open Day to find out more about the course, but that's what you've become. As the class of 2020, you've been primed with the most recent thinking and research in nutrition and trained to analyse clinical studies. So this means that you can untangle the muddled messages of the media for your clients and make a real difference to their health and well-being. You're well placed to show nutritional therapy at its very best. So make sure you do that. Set yourself high standards as you develop your practice. Keep up to date with regular CPD. Register with the CNHC and BANT so that it's clear that you take your profession seriously and that you welcome self-regulation. In many ways, this is the real start of your journey. They say that you only really learn to drive after you've passed your test. And I think nutritional therapy is a bit like that. This course laid the groundwork for you to get started, but I imagine that you found the learning curve in your first year of practice very steep. I know that I did, and that was without a pandemic. It took a while to get used to the fact that there wasn't a tutor in the corner watching my every move, albeit supporting me as well. It's a very exciting time, but it can be a little daunting because you realise you're on your own. You'll have made many friends during your time on the NTDC, so I hope you've been reaching out to them as a support network as you develop your nutrition practice, because that's how we all keep going as clinicians. This hasn't been an easy time for anyone, and it's those friendships that you've made on the course that will prove to be a lifelong benefit to you as a practitioner. Keep in touch with ION as well. Our alumni are important to us, and we would love to keep in touch with you to provide ongoing help, support, CPD. So follow us on social media if you're not already. Subscribe to our magazine. In fact, write for our magazine. Attend our short courses and workshops, and help us to continue to spread the word about nutritional therapy. For now, though, I would like you to take the time to savour your hard-won achievement. You should feel justly proud of yourselves, and I look forward to handing each one of you your hard-won and long-awaited diploma. Congratulations again, and enjoy your day. So, that's enough from me. I'd now like to introduce Dr. Neil Weston, Associate Dean from the University of Portsmouth, our academic partners. Neil manages partnerships for the Faculty of Science and Health and has been instrumental in helping us realise the collaboration between our two organisations. I last saw Neil in March 2020 at the official signing ceremony of our partnership with the University of Portsmouth, and it was a wonderful event. So it was also the last in-person event I attended for ION, so it's strangely fitting that I should see him again at the first in-person event that we've organised this year. I'm delighted that he and his colleague are here to join us for the celebration today, so please welcome him to the stage.
Well, isn't this wonderful to be here? It's a real pleasure and an honour to be here with you today to celebrate your graduation and your achievements with your family, friends, and also your academic tutors as well. Many congratulations on what I'm sure has been a bit of a roller coaster ride for you from enrolment through to your graduation today. The University of Portsmouth are really proud to work in partnership with ION to validate and offer two new sector-leading qualifications, the BSc in Nutritional Therapy and the Graduate Diploma in Integrative Functional Nutrition. My role at the university, as Jackie pointed out, is Associate Dean for Global Engagement and Education Partnerships in the Faculty of Science and Health. And I've had the pleasure of working with Chris, Heather, Paula and the team from our initial connection in January 2019 to the present, where our courses are now up and successfully running. This pleasure extends to this fabulous venue for today's event, and also the banquet of delicious food that ION have waiting for us, that I'm sure, given their reputation, will be extremely delicious and we can eat guilt-free. So indeed, in every event or meeting I have had with my ION colleagues and friends, I'm yet to be disappointed with the quality of the food and the company that they give. Whilst there are limits to the nutritional advice that they can give me over an informal lunch, I'm yet to receive confirmation whether my Scottish upbringing of haggis, neeps and tatties, followed by a deep-fried Mars bar and washed down with an iron brew or a whiskey, is actually of any nutritional therapeutic benefit to me whatsoever. But I'm sure maybe some of you can tell me later on today. But anyway, more seriously, in my time working with the ION team developing the curriculum, I've observed an incredible attention to detail and hard work of the staff to create innovative research and industry-informed courses that best prepares you for employment and more generally sets you up to make a positive and significant contribution to the societies in which you'll reside, but you'll also work. Much like my own discipline of psychology, the nutritional therapy knowledge and skills that you've learned in the course will directly benefit yourself as well as the wider public that you will work with. I'm sure it has positively changed the way in which you view your nutritional intake and what you choose to eat and drink. And I would urge you to make sure that you practice what you preach and you continue to maintain your currency in the latest research in the area to evolve your practice, but importantly, in terms of the impact that you give to your clients that you'll be working with. What has also struck me with working with my ION colleagues is the careful focus on the student journey throughout the ION course, acknowledging the diversity of the students, their background, their circumstances, and providing high-quality student support tailored to the needs of each of you students. This caring and attentive student focus is not always evident in higher education establishments, but is certainly the philosophy and approach at the heart of the University of Portsmouth way, and one that shouldn't be taken for granted. Now, in any normal academic year, it is a significant operation to deliver consistent, high-quality higher education courses. However, in a COVID pandemic, this has created additional uncertainty and pressures on you as students, and also the ION staff, to ensure your course maintained the academic standards and quality and minimise the disruption to you. It's clear that difficult decisions had to be made by the ION team in an ever-changing situation with government guidelines frequently fluctuating. However, it's clear to me that the ION team had your best interests at heart. And I'd like to congratulate the ION teaching, administrative, technical and management team for the phenomenal effort that they have put in to support you in your studies and keep the show on the road. Now, one of the best bits of being an academic tutor, I've been an academic tutor since 2001 at University of Portsmouth. My area is in sports psychology. And one of the best bits of being an academic tutor is being at this type of event, to being at the graduation ceremony, seeing your students graduate with the love and support of their close family and friends. In these events, it is a pleasure in seeing the ever-present smiles, laughter, joy, and relief at having accomplished the task that you set out for yourself when you press send on that application that while ago. At graduations, I often reflect back on the first meeting I have with my fresh-faced tutees, reminding myself of those initial conversations, the slightly anxious look in the faces, the uncertainty of what was to unfold, and the students socially trying to find out who their new best friends would be. And in my case, trying to decipher what advice this strange Glaswegian tutor was trying to communicate with them. Fast forward to the graduation day today, when you appreciate just how far those fresh-faced tutees have come, how much they have grown in their confidence, their competence, their knowledge, their skills, the obstacles they have faced and overcome, now ready to take the next step into employment. It is also hugely enjoyable to chat with their loved ones and see the pride they have in their son, daughter, mum, dad, partner who had just graduated. Each student has their own backstory and motivation for studying the course, with their own unique anxieties, life circumstances, and ambitions. It is thus a privilege, really, to be given the responsibility to support students through the ups and downs of their academic journey until they finally graduate and realise their potential, as you have done today. My approach to supporting my tutees throughout their studies, and indeed in many of the social situations I find myself in with other people, is informed by a quote from one of my favourite novels, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, where the character Atticus Finch explains to her young daughter Scout as follows: "You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it." Atticus goes on to say that if you can learn this simple trick, you'll get along better with all kinds of folks. I find this a really valuable advice as a tutor of students, as a husband, as a parent, as a friend, and as a colleague. You at times may have struggled on this course. You may have doubted your ability. Undoubtedly, you would have got a bit frustrated and maybe took a little bit of that frustration out on the others that are close to you. But invariably, it was your loved one's capacity to appreciate your circumstances, to understand the pressures you were under, and metaphorically climb into your skin, walk in your shoes, and react positively to support you when it might have been easier not to. So I think it's really important to acknowledge the enormous support from your family, friends, and loved ones have given you throughout your course. Congratulations to those key supporters of your higher education endeavours. The smile I see in their faces today are invariably the relief that you have finally graduated, the relief that they'll maybe see more of you now than they had done before, the relief that you might start to contribute an income to the households in which you are in. and also that they can maybe reclaim some of those favours that they did for you whilst you were on your studies. I want to end by saying that your learning doesn't stop here, as Jackie pointed out. The subject area that you have studied is ever-changing, as new research is published and knowledge is learned. You must be guardians of that knowledge, providing evidence-based practice and support to your clients, maintaining currency in the knowledge and skills to give best value to your clients. And please don't forget to keep that advice from Atticus Finch to hand when working with your clients. Invest time in understanding and appreciating your clients' circumstances, their background, their motives, and their ambitions. Walk in their shoes, and you'll be surprised how effective your client interactions and relationships can be. Now, as Jackie pointed out earlier, ION, for the last 35 years, ION have been leaders in nutritional therapy education, breaking down barriers, challenging stereotypes, and pushing the professionalism of this discipline forward. As organisations, the University of Portsmouth and ION are well aligned in our strategic ambitions and also our strategic ambitions and our education philosophy around student learning. We will continue to work collaboratively to develop new, innovative CPD undergraduate and postgraduate courses to drive forward training in this field. And we hope you will continue to keep in touch and indeed join us again to continue your education, development and training. So thank you very much, good luck, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil, for those words of wisdom. And now it's time for our keynote speaker, Catherine Jeans. I'm really thrilled that she's here today because actually we were in the same cohort at ION and graduated together over 10 years ago. Since then, she has gone on from strength to strength, really, as the family nutrition expert. She also advises a number of food brands, features regularly in the media, and now supports other nutritional therapists as a clinic and business mentor. So I'm very much looking forward to hearing what she's got to say. Please give her a warm welcome.
Thank you, Jackie. It's really nice to see you again. And thank you for inviting me to be here. So, today I thought I'd talk a little bit about seeds. We love seeds, don't we, nutritional therapists? And any type of seed, particularly flaxseed or chia seed. And for family members here, they are genuinely really healthy. Yeah, I thought I'd start with a seed because it is a beautiful beginning to a life. Inside every seed. When is the last time you actually picked up one of those flax seeds and had a look at it and actually imagined the potential inside it? It has all the code for a beautiful, beautiful plant with purple flowers. Did you know that? I mean, it is quite incredible. I live in Norfolk and we have a lot of fields of flaxseed and the flowers are beautiful. Yeah. So inside that seed, there is everything it needs to grow, all the potential, all the knowledge, all the coding, all the genetic wisdom. Yeah? And like you, that seed will start to grow, and many of you have already started on your journey. That journey can take many turns, like your journey, and the journey ahead of you. A seed, hopefully, will be bathed in lots of sunshine, crystal clear rainwater, nutrient-rich soil, a little shade, some protection, and as that seedling sprouts, it will curve, it will mould, it will flower, it might shoot up really, really, really quickly, and perhaps it might be slower than some of its family members. It might hibernate for a little while. That's what plants do. They mould and respond to their environment, as we well know. And so just take a moment to have a think back at how your seed of nutrition started and why you are here. For me, I remember as a child growing up and having ongoing battles with my mother about why I had to eat brown bread and why I couldn't drink Coke, even though all my friends were. And I had the same battles with my now teenager, who I was pregnant with when I was studying at Ion. I remember learning to cook with my mum, baking, and at 12 I became vegetarian, and at uni definitely became a cheese on toast vegetarian. That's in my first university degree, before I came to nutrition. I had ever-increasing health issues, asthma, allergies, IBD, burnout. My first career, if you like, was as a TV producer and journalist. Many stories from that time, like working on Big Brother and babysitting one of the Jackson sisters before she went on Celebrity Big Brother. No sleep, lots of Dr. Pepper. I don't know why Dr. Pepper, but I remember it well. Even more alcohol and lots of takeaway food. And I knew I wanted something more. Burnout could not go on. And actually, I spent 3 years before I studied at Ion, living in South America, in the Andes for 3 years, where I actually learned it is pronounced quinoa, not quinoa. These were my antecedents, but my trigger to study at Ion was a very serious car crash, and I am very lucky to be here today. I broke my back. I spent 2 months in a Spanish hospital, spoon-fed rice and paella while trying to lay flat. I learned definitely what I don't want, and that is when the seed of my nutrition career was properly formed. And I am really lucky to be here, and so I wanted more meaning in my life. I am grateful for the past and what it has brought me to be here. I loved my time at Ion. It felt natural. It felt like my dharma, as we say in yoga. I found my purpose. It was hard work. I was pregnant twice through my 3 years of study. And I qualified in 2010, and I went straight into clinical practice. My first few years in clinical practice, I got busy. Really busy. I was breastfeeding between clinics. I remember my first client like it was yesterday. I remember her name. I won't say it out loud, but I know it. I remember the nerves. I remember the joy of not having a tutor watching me and observing. And although that was a lovely experience too. I remember, the times when, I would have lots of clients all in one day. And my seedling of a business grew. I got busy, and it grew, and it grew. I opened a complementary health clinic after 9 months, and within our first year, we won CAM Expo Clinic of the Year. And I loved working alongside other therapists. My business grew at such a rate that there were days when I would start at 9 in the morning and finish at 9 at night. And I realized that I'd molded my nutrition career to look like my TV career. And I just got busy. It was exhilarating, but I wasn't working smartly. And my niggly health issues started to pop up again. Hello, what are you doing? They were saying to me then. And here's the beauty of working as a nutritional therapist, because I wouldn't change it for the world. You have the power to guide how your seed of a business grows. And the beautiful thing is it can mold to you. It becomes part of you, and it develops with you as a human. I took a step back, and I got help from a coach and a mentor. And I properly planned what it was that I did want to do with my nutrition knowledge. And that's a good problem to have. Excuse me, water. That is a good problem to have. Too many clients. So I planned to have 2 months off a year, to be present for all the school holidays for my children. I planned for other income streams. I planned for proper cash flow. I planned to work more meaningfully with clients. And I thought I'd share with you a few of the exciting things I've done along the way. I have a thriving nutritional therapy business with multiple income streams, which is now fully online, and that is something I do thank the pandemic for, which means that I can work from anywhere in the world. And that is long-term what I plan to do. I'm regularly called upon by the media. So I've done BBC Bite Size as a super tutor. I did a Telegraph series for the London Olympics. And most recently, I got a random call while I was making my children's breakfast from BBC Radio to tell the presenter why he wouldn't suddenly lose weight because he'd just had an apple cider vinegar shot. Honestly, they do call me with those things. I have the space to go into my son's school and make green smoothies with 7 and 8-year-olds who have probably never tried a green smoothie and say that their favourite is my alien green smoothie. I've been a consultant for big and small brands. I work in children's homes with neurodiverse children. I have at one point been a tutor at ION, which was a huge joy. I have worked with lots of corporate companies, zoos, schools, energy companies, banks, and my work feels meaningful. The one-to-one work I do in my clinic and in my group programs is meaningful. It is to me a great joy that I can spend a whole half an hour teaching someone how to chew their food properly, to properly breathe before they eat, and eat in a relaxed environment. And the difference that makes to an individual is immense. I have a waiting list for clients, and I have an associate who works with me who I refer to. I love the jaw-dropping moments when a person realizes how food relates to how they feel. I love the thank yous, the gratitude. You have changed my life, Catherine. And don't be afraid to ask for that from your client, and ask them how the experience has been, and ask them for testimonials. I have created online courses that have sold out without any Facebook advertising or Instagram advertising, without any investment in marketing. So my business is now blooming, but in a way that gives me a much healthier work-life balance. I bring in a sustainable income, more than my husband. Always been that way since I graduated. But I have time to breathe, to get quiet, to be with my thoughts and not in my monkey mind, to be present with my own precious seedlings, to be present with my own children, to pursue more learning, including my yoga teacher training, which I have done during lockdown, to travel, to start retreats. It is an amazing career, and I wish you so much luck on this journey. So I thought I would finish with 7 little pearls of wisdom that I have learned in my business over the last 11 years. Be flexible, mold, be open to opportunity. The family nutrition expert started because I was pregnant at the time, so I wanted to work with fertility, pregnancy, and little children. Now, at 44, I work more with burnt-out women who are going through perimenopause. What a great joy that I can mold my business in my journey in life. 2, believe in abundance. Have an abundance mindset. When you are busy, sometimes we can get in the mindset of haven't got enough. But believe in abundance. Actually just opening your mind to the amazing possibility ahead of you. You need to put in the hard work. You can't just, I wish, but believe it is possible. I really encourage you to not just get busy. Actually have a plan. Yeah? Have a roadmap. And that roadmap might change. But have a plan for where it is that you want to go. Maybe you only want to see 1 or 2 clients a week, and that's fantastic. Know that. But maybe you have other plans, and knowing that is also good too. I really encourage you to work with an experienced nutritional therapist and invest in your growth and in you as a human. My fourth pearl of wisdom is to be you, because that's all we can be in life. Be who you are. There is a tendency when we go out on our own to look at what everyone else is doing and feel that we are never enough. Feel that someone's got a sales funnel over there. What is that and how do I do it? And I must do it right now. I don't do sales funnels. Your colleagues may love social media, and that's fantastic for them. But if you don't, find another way. Find what works for you. And if something doesn't work, reflect on it and make a change. Network in real life, not just online. I came from a world where I worked in TV as a journalist before social media existed. And I think we could use some of those old school networking and marketing practices of actually getting out there and talking to people. For me, the time that I convert most clients is when I'm in a room talking to people. So network in the real world. Keep it simple, keep it real, and keep it true to you. Tune in to the person who is in front of you or across the screen from you. You may have so much knowledge burning in your brain that you want to impart to the person in front of you. But if they are not ready for everything you want to tell them, find out what they are ready for. And sometimes it is the simplest things which makes the biggest difference, and doing that consistently. You may feel at the start of your journey a bit of imposter syndrome, but you know more than 99% of your clients. And you can explain to them about the foundations and why actually working from the ground up is going to give them the biggest change long term. And I would say most of all, have fun. This journey is fun. Nutrition is fun. And the best thing about working as a nutritional therapist is that no day is the same. As seedlings, and as you develop into plants, nourish your soil, your air, your water supply, and your nutrients first. Put your oxygen mask on first. A healthy plant is a flexible plant, an empowered plant that comes from an inner strength. And then you can spread your message out to the world. Congratulations, everyone. I wish you all the success in your journey. Thank you for having me today.
who's head of courses, will say your name. If you come up to the podium, I will pass the award to Jackie. Jackie will give you your award, and if you could just stand with us, we'll use the photographer over here, and we'll have photographs taken. So, over to you.
Thanks, Heather. So first up, Gemma Adair. Clotilde Annandon. Gillian Bertram. Francesca Block. Claire Boyle. Asita Bryson. Irina Chifor. Serena Cohen. Claire Davidson. Isabel Dortz. Melanie Dixon. Caroline Donahue. Natasha Evans. Claire Bennett. Irene Ferrer. Jemima Giblin. Jacqueline Guiton. Sarah Hanford. Selma Harmon. Louise Howlett. Emma Jameson. Claire Kennedy. Corral Laurent. Jade Layton. Hannah Macy. Sasha Manini. Milena Mastrioni. Fiona Morse. Moira Newis. Kerry Aldridge. Rose Paul. Vicky Player. Anna Rodriguez Badan. Emily Rollerson. Samantha Variali. Nina Wetherall. And last but by no means least, Rebecca Wilkins.
It's my pleasure now to be the awarder of prizes, and we have 4 prizes today. Unfortunately, we don't have any of the prize givers here or any of the graduates receiving the prizes, but let's still celebrate their achievement by clapping to them. So the first prize is from BioCare for the highest achiever in levels 5 and 6. And this is awarded to Cara van der Bosch. The next prize is from the Natural Dispensary, and it's the Natural Dispensary Award for the highest achiever, level 5 and level 6 from the e-learning cohort. And this is Sylvia Surgestel. The third prize is awarded from one of our trustees, and it's the Diane Shepherdson Mills Award for Outstanding Performance in Clinic. And this award goes to Kimberly Tyron. And the next award is from somebody I trained with 37 years ago at ION, who is still a big part of supporting ION. And her name is Janet Anders, and this is the Janet Anders Shakina Award for Outstanding Literature Critique. And this goes to Natalie Middleton. And the final award, which is awarded by Zest for Life for the Best Business Plan, goes to Karen Geary.
Thank you, Heather, and thank you, everybody, and well done for parading in such fabulous fashion. Congratulations to all of you. You got something else to say? What did you forget?
You'll get to Jackie, but first you've got me. So, hello, scholar practitioners. You embody both the art and science of nutritional therapy practice. And that term comes from the ancient Chinese and their wisdom of understanding the duality of being a practitioner. I'm going to also give you another ancient Chinese proverb to take away and think about. And that is that learning is a treasure that will follow you everywhere. And it is also a treasure that benefits your clients, the wider community, and hopefully comes back to inform the practice of nutritional therapy. As nutritional therapists, you are constantly learning. Your clients, as you probably have no doubt noticed, are your greatest teachers, and each of them brings to you challenges that make you go back and engage with the evidence. And that helps you on your quest to resolve their issues. We've all got the evidence-based, evidence-informed t-shirts. So for family and friends, evidence-based means the use of the most up-to-date research to inform practice. And evidence-informed means joining research with the client's values and knowledge. You've been out there now for a year and a bit, so I have two questions for you. Well, question one has got a part two. What evidence from your practice could you now bring forward to inform the profession and the profession's service of its clients? What works and what doesn't work in your practice? Have you thought about that? Do you want to investigate that further? And my second question is, how would you go about collecting that information and publishing that information so it comes back to the profession? This is where our top-up degree comes in, which is validated by the University of Portsmouth, and Neil has talked about continuing professional learning. We have two modules on the top-up degree, one which is research skills and one which is a research project, and it's to those two modules I want to tell you a little bit more. In the research skills module, we guide you through a range of research methods applicable to nutritional therapy practice, and an experienced researcher works closely with you, very similar to your clinical experience. And they help you refine your project, its feasibility, and its relevance to the profession. And they also ground you and make sure that you are knowledgeable in ethics and governance. We have top-up students on the module who are recent graduates, beginning to explore areas of practice that they might want to now make their own, their niche, through to those who have been in practice for many years and have multiple qualifications and who have developed their specialisms, who really want to deep dive and find out what is it that's really working. I'd like to share with you some examples of the research that our current top-up students are engaged with right at this moment in time. The majority of them are what we call qualitative, the use of semi-structured interviews. And what they're doing is exploring the client's values and knowledge and their lived experience. And one of these, or several of these, might resonate with you and might be something that you would like to investigate. I've themed them. So some of our students want to know what worked after the client was successful in managing their illness or maintaining a level of management of their illness. So we have two students, one who's looking at IBS and looking at what clients learnt from the therapeutic encounter that they took forward and made a difference to them. And therefore, knowing that, they can share that with other clients that come to their practice. We also have a student who is looking to find out from her clients the benefits of nutritional therapy support that they've gained from her clinic through their IVF treatment, having first had failed IVF. It's not only nutrition that you can research on the top-up. You can also research lifestyle management as well. And this one, I think, Jackie, you will be really interested in, because Jackie's expertise is menopause, and Jackie also has talked about menopause and perimenopause as well, and it's where a lot of us are at the moment. I'm not going to say any more. But this student is looking at exploring the coping strategies of sleep in relation to sleep disturbance during menopause in women aged 50 to 58. And if you had that information, that would really help your practice, wouldn't it? It does give back to the practice. And another student's lived experience of having cow's milk allergy and breastfeeding is what she wants to go on and explore, how other mothers with the same issue have found positive coping strategies. And then she can bring them into her practice. We've talked so far about very specialist groups, but we do have students who want to understand their community more so that they can really target their nutritional therapy approach. And I have one student who's exploring changes in dietary habits of Brazilians aged 55 years, who immigrated to London 20 years ago. And then I have a student who's really left field, who is looking to inform the guidelines of the professional body and hence our future teaching of nutritional therapists by conducting a pilot study exploring nutritional therapists' perception around assessing mental health red flags in online consultations. And online is going to be really where we are going predominantly in the future. So really exciting projects. Those are the qualitative ones. We do have students that are doing quantitative projects as well. And what they're looking at is existing data, interrogating existing data from new perspectives. And this happens all the time in science research. Recently, a paper was published in the American Journal of Nutrition by Hugel and Hugel, where they concluded that a lack of prior statistical analysis of a landmark World War II trial may have led to a misleading narrative on vitamin C needs for the prevention and treatment of collagen-related pathologies. What they have discovered is that the amount needed is much nearer what we suggest as nutritional therapists, which means the WHO at some stage is going to have to look at least doubling its recommendation. So from paper-based studies, we can also have really big impacts as well. And yes, I did say statistical analysis. Yes. It is probably the most feared subject of all students, not just nutritional therapists. And one of the gifts of the research skills module is the ability to overcome that fear and to master an understanding of basic statistics. And here's what some of those students who are feeling the fear and going for it are doing. One is looking at evaluating flax seeds, and I had no idea, Jackie, that you were talking about flax seeds at the beginning. Sorry, Catherine, sorry. You know that certain age? I'm in it. So Catherine, that's a really nice link to your linseeds. And what she's looking at is, are linseeds beneficial in the diets of perimenopause and postmenopausal women at high risk of or who have had breast cancer? Wouldn't that really inform our practice? A basic food that we often advise clients to take. Data is everywhere, and I have a student who is looking at data that's in the social media domain, and I know she's here today, and I was very grateful to be involved in the development of this project. And what she's looking at is, do the recipes provided by Bosch TV on Instagram during Veganuary 2021 meet the iron requirements of women of childbearing age? Now that's sexy. That's a really sexy project. And then I have students who are really deep diving into some of the specialist diets that we might use as part of our program with clients. And I have another who's looking at the GAPS diet to see, is it nutritionally adequate? And she's looking at both a week's recipes from stage 1 and from the full GAPS diet. There is a COVID project, but we've had enough about COVID today, and I'm sure we'll get more of them next year. So these are exciting projects with the potential to inform practice. And part of our goal, and part of the goal of the students, is that some of these projects will get published. So watch this space, and see you all at the next BAN AGM, where hopefully some of your colleagues will be presenting their papers. So as scholar practitioners, independent critical thinkers, you strive continually to learn and apply your learning, to meet the challenges of your casework and the demands of and needs of your community. We are here to help you on that continuing learning journey. We are here for your future CPD needs, whether they are targeted learning through short courses or through topping up for a degree and giving back through research to your profession, and then hopefully, eventually, University of Portsmouth master's programs. So be the future of our profession. Congratulations. Yours, Maggie.
I think that's the last of the musical chairs, but I don't guarantee anything. Okay, well, I believe that actually does conclude our ceremony for today. And yes, thank you all for your wonderful support, friends and family. Some fantastic clapping going on there. I'd like to take this opportunity again to thank the prize sponsors and our exhibitor, Chala, who I remind you is over there in the corner with lots of goodies. So make sure you go and check them out. And thank you to our wonderful speakers for your words of wisdom. I particularly enjoyed the seed analogy, Catherine. I'd also like to thank Kate Delmar-Morgan, Neil Patel and the ION graduation team for organising such a fantastic event, because you make it look easy when I absolutely know that it is anything but. So that really brings us to the end. A couple of sort of housekeeping-y things from me, which is first of all to say that I need to remind all graduates and ION staff to make your way down to the bottom of the staircase where the official photo will be. Friends and family, you have done your duty, so you can make your way next door to start the celebrations. We'll join you all shortly, and there is a rather fabulous socially distanced bowl lunch available, so we won't be sharing any platters, and I'm reliably informed it involves all manner of delicious things from vegan cassoulet to smoked trout, so looking forward to that as soon as we've got the photo out of the way. Would you all please, when the academic procession gets going, please stand as they leave the hall, and once the graduates are on their way out, make sure they have a lovely last final round of applause. So that's it. Thank you all very much, everybody.